welcome to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 AM. It is 7:03 AM, and if you're up and awake and you got somewhere to be for 7:05, you better hurry up, or it's on the other side of your bed. 7:15, and you might be able to make it 7:30, and you're in pretty decent shape. But as always, we ask you to remember that school zone limits are in effect until 9 a.m. So please, whatever you do, look out for our babies. Let's take care of them and their caregivers, their parents, their nannies, their pawpaws, whoever might be walking them to school. Watch out for those school buses, and yes, even watch out for the babies with the hair on their face, because they are babies too. So let's make sure we take care of everybody this chilly Monday morning, starting a new week. I am Will Sutton, and I am not flying solo today. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I am here with, you know her, Andrenica Morris.
Good morning, Will. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me co-host with you this morning. Appreciate it.
I'm excited about this.
Yes,
We've been on together before, but we haven't co-hosted
That's
before.
right. That's right. That's right. We love being a part of the WBOK family, and in this, not just showing up on each other's shows,
Yep.
but also working with each other.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, and including you making the news. But
The work, housing is making the news. We want to keep it focused on that.
Well, that's right. Absolutely. And so we want to start off with, first of all, recognizing that the Lord has blessed us with another day and a chilly one to snap us out of any summer stuff that we might have been sliding into and sticking and staying. So yes, the seasons do change in New Orleans, and this morning is a clear example of that. We might not see all the fall foliage of northeastern United States, but we got a little cold snap here. So dress warmly, folks. There are some things happening in the news. There's somewhere between 8,800 and 9,000 people without power in Metairie.
Yeah.
And that is being attributed to the cold front, as we get a lot of
Not our raggedy grid.
there is that. And so that happened around 5:35 this morning over by West Metairie Avenue and Veterans Boulevard, and they say restoration about 8:30
a.m. So yeah,
8:30 a.m.
I saw
We'll
that
see.
story last night. It's increased a lot overnight, apparently,
has.
because initially it was not even quite 2,000.
Right. And it's been going up.
Yeah, and when it was not quite 2,000, it wasn't that cold. It
Right.
had dropped down significantly because yesterday was cool, but it was like in the 60s when I saw it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
not
So
something.
it's been developing. So
Yeah.
depending on what time you went to bed last night, you
Right.
might or might not know that this has happened, but know that it didn't just pop off at 9,000.
No.
So this has been developing. And there's a red flag warning for this morning for critical fire conditions. So those of you all who have that kind of property, or even if you don't, you're trying to do something in the backyard, please, please, please be careful with the windy conditions. We also had a report over the weekend of, here we go again, ICE doing a raid in Kenner.
Mm.
Did you hear about that? The boat launch?
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a boat launch. This was after we were off the air of the Good Morning Show on Friday. This happened on Friday evening, a joint operation with local police and state police, as well as Homeland Security. And there were about 15 people taken into custody as a part of the raid. It ended up, of course, showing up on social media because these days a lot of people have phones. And so there were some mixed reports about what was happening, but law enforcement did confirm that it was a ICE raid. Well, they didn't call it an ICE raid. They said it was a joint operation. And there weren't that many details available yesterday or Saturday. So we're looking for more developments about that to see what will come of that. Of course, we've got to keep our eyes and ears open and watch out what's going on with ICE and other such raids, because they seem to be just popping up all over the place.
Right. That's right.
And not
That's right.
just like in places like New Orleans or Chicago. So there's Kenner.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well,
I mean,
you know the demographics, like we do about where our new neighbors live, where folks who've come here to help over the last 20 years, where they've settled, what parts of the community live in. Kenner is definitely a place, parts of Mid City here in New
Yep.
Orleans. You know, again, folks like to be in community with each other,
absolutely.
and there's nothing wrong with that, except for apparently it makes folks who are hunting them zero in.
Zero in, a little bit more of a target. Yep. So, especially going to somebody's workplace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for somebody to really have the conversation. I hate to sound like some of these extremists. When are they going to start arresting these employers?
Well, how about that?
and again, I mean, part of it is that this issue that we have around this conversation, where we feel like there's just scarce resources, and that's just artificial, because we do actually have enough to take care of each other, and other folks who come here because they heard the call from the Statue of Liberty and they believed it. They believed the hype of America the Beautiful, and that's why they're coming here.
Right. And there is a difference because Kenner has signed the agreement that says we will cooperate and help ICE and other officials with such raids.
Right.
Not every community has done that,
No.
so there is a facilitation here.
Right. That's right.
With
That's right.
this as well.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
that's part of I think that's part of the tragedy of it, is that the community that got to benefit from the population growth, all of the things. There's some really great restaurants in Kenner now because
Yep.
of where a lot of the Latinos have settled, who, you know, and again, most of them legally
Yes.
have settled.
Mm-hmm.
But to see that choice, that community that they chose, that community that they valued, that community that they have added value to, decide to say to get in with the rhetoric, because that's the other thing too, right?
Right.
They're not picking up the bad hombres.
Right. And we're going to have to go to break in a moment. But, you know, one of the other things about this is that they say they're doing these raids, which they don't always call raids, but they're interviewing people. But I want to know more about, well, who are they choosing to interview?
Right.
Just the people on the yard? Anybody in the office? Or
Well, also
How
the
about
part
that?
of I'd like to know what the due process is, Rick, right? Because there's an insinuation, there's an implication that these were folks who have committed a crime.
Yep.
What's the process? Because in order to initiate any action, that's one of the things that's in the founding documents, is you're supposed to have proof, not just suspicion. You're supposed to have proof before you take this kind of action.
Yep. Well, we're going to break. It is 7:11 a.m. If you got somewhere to be at 7:15, hurry up. And hopefully it's around the corner. You're already in your car. You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather,
There.
watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
People taken into ICE custody in Kenner following an operation at the boat launch there. And that is where WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin is live. And Jasmine, this comes after police say that they've repeatedly gotten trash, traffic, and noise complaints in that area where you are.
Yeah, Elizabeth, tonight Kenner Police says that 15 people are in custody, and I'll tell you right now, it is very quiet and empty here at the boat launch in Kenner, a very different scene compared to last night when ICE agents took 15 people in custody.
To come here and see the things that are taking place is very uncomfortable.
Loud music, people smoking marijuana, and empty bottles of alcohol. That's what many say they experienced during a recent trip to Kenner's boat launch.
You come to this area to relax, family oriented. Don't want to hear profanity in the music. The music is too loud and disturbing.
Lifelong Kenner resident Mary Saul Porter says she used to enjoy taking her family to the pier.
I've been here all my life, and to feel the way I felt, I stopped coming here.
But for the first time in months, she's back after Kenner Police issued a community safety operation.
So it's gotten to the point where residents go out there and fish the pier, and people actually steal the ice chests right in front of them, cut their fishing lines.
The department says in collaboration with ICE, the FBI, and state police, 15 people were arrested on Friday for illegal activities.
And we hope that last night's operation will kind of calm things down, especially with the investments that the parish and the city have made.
It's an effort to make families feel comfortable returning to the park that's a staple in this community.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. This is Will Sutton, and I am here with Andronika Morris, and we're co-hosting today. We play some different hats.
That's right.
You got a show. When's your show?
My show is every Tuesday at 12 noon on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. New Orleans. Put housing first.
Yes, and really good show to listen to. Kind of keep up on all things housing, and don't be fooled because it's a larger umbrella than you might think. By saying housing or affordable housing, you don't know what perspectives might be discussed under that umbrella of housing.
That's right. Well, we say put housing first because we know that it's connected to everything.
Mm-hmm.
The failure to address our housing crisis is connected to any challenge you can think of in this country, in this state, and certainly here in New Orleans is connected in some way to housing.
Yep. Well, we've got quite a show for you ahead today, and we're looking forward to having good conversations with a number of people today, including Stephanie Gasso and Annie Phoenix from the Jesuit Social Research Institute. They're going to be talking with us about Loyola's prison education efforts and the role of the U.S. Department of Education. So that's going to be a good one. We're also going to have Madeline Batson, Policy and Research Director for the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. And we're going to be looking at some of the data and the information according to a recent poll that says 65% of Louisiana voters believe the state should do more to support working families with young children. How about that?
Shocking.
65%. Something we can agree on?
Yes.
Here's what I want to know. Why is it that 85%.
I was going to say, that seems low, actually. That seems very low.
But okay, maybe we'll find out more about that. And we hope to hear from our registrar because early voting is over.
Right.
And, of course, we expected low turnout in early voting and a lower turnout on Election Day on Saturday. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't vote. And we'd love to know more about how things happened with early voting as well. And speaking of voting, just a reminder, the election is Saturday, November 15th.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't voted and you're registered, that is when you can vote. But it is not the only opportunity to vote. As I like to say, there's more than one way to vote if you are registered. And one of those ways is a mail ballot. And no, it's not just for the old folks. So you have a number of opportunities that you might be eligible for a mail ballot. Check that out online and know that the deadline for the request of a mail ballot is November 12th, as long as you get it in by 4:30 p.m. on Friday, November 14th. Here's the thing. The deadline is the 14th.
Right.
Is the 12th. You have to have it in by the 14th. I wouldn't put that in the mail. I would go ahead and get it now.
Right.
Don't wait until the deadline day.
No.
And definitely don't put it in the mail on the day after you get it. If you get it on the last day, hand deliver that so that you can make sure.
And
counts.
you know, also mail-in ballots are really great for people who have challenges, you know, people who are the elderly, who can't necessarily get out.
Mhm.
But we also have to be clear about what's going on with our postal service because inside of Orleans Parish, because that's what we're talking about here, one day is like that. But really with the cuts that's been happening to the postal service, they're overwhelmed with things. So things are not moving as quickly as they could, as quickly as they should. But they're trying their hardest. All of the folks inside of the system are doing a really great job of managing this. But your point is a really great one, Will, that we need folks to take responsibility and to just think things through a little bit and put it in a little extra cushion.
Put it in the cushion, and you can even treat it as a backup plan. So maybe you say, I like to vote on election day. Go ahead and get your mail ballot. You don't have to use it.
Right. That's right.
You don't have to use it.
Then there's that.
You can hold on to your mail ballot and see how you're feeling and say, you know, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go on Saturday. Fine. Or you might have it, and day by day you might like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and fill this out.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to fill it out, return it, and then show up at the election day.
Well, but they'll catch it. They'll catch it.
That could cause you a little problem.
They're going to be like, so are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, that's the other piece, too. We have very little instances of genuine voter fraud.
We really
right?
don't. Yeah.
very little. Very little. It might be someone who's confused, who wasn't sure, who was nervous about the fact that they mailed it on the 12th and they weren't sure if it will get there in time. So let me go in person because I'm here and I'm really worried about it. You might see that, but what we don't want people to do is to be discouraged and to not trust this system, right? Not to trust it.
Absolutely.
And then not participate.
Absolutely. Please participate. If you're registered, please vote. And if you're not registered, there is no bad day to register.
No.
People tend to think about registration when there's a campaign.
That's right.
It's just a deadline for which election you can vote in.
That's right.
That's all it is.
Once you're registered, it's hard for you to no longer be eligible to vote, right? And if you move, and that's why we talk about housing being connected to things, all things, because where you live determines who you get to vote for, what issues you get to vote on. And so when you go into the ballot, when you want to check your ballot in advance, you got to put, where you're registered, and they figure out what's going to show up on your ballot.
Yep, absolutely.
And if you got to change that because you moved, right, you can do that, because then that changes who and what you get to vote for.
Yep. And meanwhile, on the national front, there's breaking news from overnight. The U.S. Senate has a government shutdown deal. So
Is that what we're calling it?
that's what they're calling it. They're calling it a bipartisan deal.
Of course they are.
All right. So they're saying they have enough Democratic senators to reach a tentative bipartisan agreement late last night to end the government shutdown. But be clear, the government shutdown is not over.
Correct.
This was a preliminary vote to begin the process of reopening the government. So there are multiple steps that have to be taken, not the least of which is it has to go to the U.S. House of Representatives. And there are a number of other triggers, I'll call it, that have to be pulled to make sure that this is going to happen. So just because they took that vote last night doesn't mean it ends today.
Right.
And just because daylight has come today doesn't mean, well, it's going to end today or tomorrow. This is going to take a few days.
Right.
And we still have the impact of the harm from a number of things that were impacted by the government shutdown.
That's right.
Even when it reopens, things will be backlogged, and there will be questions about whether some things can proceed.
Right. I mean, and the big issue, the big pressure point was, again, around this deal was the expiring subsidies for the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare. And that seems to be, that's going to be kicked down the road, maybe to another vote. The big pressure point that people were worried about is the federal workers, many of whom, like our air traffic controllers and security and military, were working without pay, right? Despite the theatrics from the Trump administration taking a few $100 million from some billionaire, which wouldn't pay everybody's salary inside of the military. And of course, the benefits, you know, the battle over the SNAP benefits and the fact that the Trump administration was refusing to use the money they had on hand for exactly this purpose, to make sure that the states would get funding. And again, a number of states, including ours, made some noises. Some states said, we got it, don't worry about it, we'll get our money back. And that's another big question is, are anybody who took those steps, are they going to get reimbursed? And are the workers going to get back pay as they have in the past? The Trump administration, as well as Speaker Johnson, have said that they didn't think the workers would be eligible for back pay. That's supposed to be a part of this, I don't know what you call this nonsense. I cannot call it a deal.
Well,
the capitulation.
Tentative bipartisan agreement.
Can I call it a capitulation instead?
You can do that.
Yeah, like the capitulation. The capitulation. Did you get anything? Did you get anything for the workers? You know.
Well, what they got is an agreement to have a vote on something in December
around
around healthcare.
But the workers are supposed to be in this thing.
The workers are supposed to be in this thing, which is why some of the senators voted in favor, because particularly if you represent Virginia, there's a lot of federal government workers.
Yeah, there's a lot of federal government workers.
So we're going to have to go to break, and we'll be back in a moment, and we'll be talking about the news and things you want to know, should know, got to know. And, of course, we've got some great guests coming up. It's 7:26 a.m. Don't forget the school zone is still in effect until 9 a.m. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The impacts of the wind. I mean, they're just flashing up against the side, but it is a pretty day, though. Don't let that hurt for you. But it is still cold outside, so folks will need to bundle up some extra layers. So just to give you a comparison, an idea, a 24-hour temperature change. Look at this, about 20 to 30 degrees colder than where we were sitting at this time yesterday. So a huge difference as you wake up and you get started. So here's what you basically need to know. It's going to feel colder than the actual temperature, at least for the first half of the day. Once you get to the afternoon, that's when things will start to line up with the temperature. But I would say coats for this morning. For the afternoon, maybe you can take one of those layers off. The winds will eventually start to die down too. So looking at all across the south, frost and freeze watches, warnings, all of that going on. For us right now, this will likely get upgraded to a freeze warning. As right now, it's a freeze watch, but looking at that for tonight on into tomorrow morning, temperatures will dip below the freezing mark. We also do have a red flag warning in effect for today. High winds, low humidity. So basically, any fires that happen, they will be able to spread very easily. So burning is not recommended for today. Some of you may have smelled some smoke in the air. There was a control burn yesterday on the North Shore, so that's probably why you did smell some of that. But wind speeds right now on the North Shore starting to look a whole lot better, less than 10 miles per hour. On the South Shore, however, 15 to 20, 25 miles per hour. There's also gale warnings in effect as well. Temperatures right now, just step out the door, just know it is cold, upper 30s, lower 40s. Yes, we're all above freezing right now, but tomorrow morning it's going to look a whole lot different. So other temperatures on the North Shore, since you will be the cold spot for tomorrow morning. As of right now, you're all still into the mid 30s. So not expecting you to dip very much more, but here's how we all actually feel. It does feel at least the biggest difference. So for temperatures, and the actual temperature is going to be on the South Shore because of the winds, but North Shore very close to the actual temperatures for you. But still, we're all waking up feeling like we are into the 30s. Highs for today, this is going to be about 20 degrees below average for this time of the year. So only looking at the low to mid 50s for us, but then tomorrow we're going to bump up just a little bit. Speaking of tomorrow, here's tomorrow morning's lows. This is what should really grab your attention. Look at your low temperatures as you're waking up in the morning. 27 for Slidell, 25 up in Bogalusa, 30 for Hammond, even Houma sitting at 35. So there is that concern that, yes, we could possibly be seeing some freezing or below freezing temperatures as we are waking up. Now, because the winds will die down a little bit, it won't be that drastic temperature difference between your wind chill and what you actually feel like. Now, I do want to say it's not going to last very long at all. So let me break the 7-day down. Impact day for today is a heads up. Cold air is about to get even colder for tomorrow morning, which is why we do have an alert day in effect. Then watch this. Once we get to Wednesday, temperatures rising back to just above average. Looking at the 70s, we continue to see the 70s here on out for the rest of the week, but we do have rain chances on the way. If you've been looking for rain, that's going to happen late Saturday into our Sunday.
Hey y'all, make sure you tune in on Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. for the Roux with Chef Bunny, sponsored by Blue Plate Mayonnaise on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
A message from the Greater New Orleans East Business Alliance. New Orleans East is primed for economic development and growth. The East has an abundance of commercial space and vacant land available. The opportunity for development is endless. Come be a part of the economic rebuild. For more information, please give us a call at 504-957-3568. That's 504-957-3568. Building a strong New Orleans East makes a stronger New Orleans.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. It is 7:33 a.m. You got somewhere to be at 7:35. I hope it's on the other side of your bed, and you got the laptop fired up, you got the phone ready to go, and if you got somewhere to be at 7:45, maybe you might make it if you're already up and dressed, got your favorite morning beverage, and not your evening beverage. And hopefully you've got the kids off, or you're taking them to school or getting them to the bus stop. And, of course, the school zone speeds are in effect until 9 a.m. So please, whatever you do when you get out there, get in or on your vehicle, please obey the speed limits. It's as much for you as it is for them, but a lot of them are scrambling, not paying attention. They're not quite as mature as you might be. So watch out for our babies, and as I like to say, even those with the hair on their face in high school, But watch out for them, too. They might be distracted because of the cell phones as opposed to their colleagues. I'm Will Sutton, and co-hosting with me today is Andrew-Nika Morris. Very happy to have you here with me, my sister.
Great to be here. Thank you, Will.
All right. Once again, we're going to promo your show a few times.
Yes. So we are here every Tuesday live on WBOK 12:30 a.m. with Put Housing First to talk about how housing is the foundation for a just and equitable community. Yep. First here in New Orleans, because we're going to do this in New Orleans. We're going to talk about how we do it in New Orleans, and then we're going to do it everywhere else.
Yep. Absolutely. Put housing first. All right. So we've got our friends from the Jesuit Social Research Institute over at Loyola University in New Orleans here with us today. So welcome Stephanie Gaskell and Annie Phoenix. We appreciate you coming in to talk with us today. But when's the last time you were here, WBOK?
I don't think I've ever been here.
And when were you here?
I don't think I've been here
either. Well, all right. Well, welcome to WBOK. We've got a wonderful WBOK family of listeners. They're on AM radio at 12:30. They're on the internet wherever they might be. I mean, it's amazing. We have people, we hear from them in California and Atlanta, Chicago, all kinds of places. And we have not just listeners, we have watchers, because our show is live on Facebook Live. See the cameras? 1, 2, 3.
Great.
So they're watching, and this is recorded. And so for the folks who haven't met you before, and don't tell us about the Research Institute yet.
Okay.
Tell us about you. Who your mama in them?
Sure, I'll start. I'm Annie Phoenix. I'm the executive director of the Jesuit Social Research Institute. But I've lived in New Orleans for about 15 years. I'm originally from California.
What part?
Oakland,
Hey,
Bay Area. Yeah.
I love Lake Merritt.
Yeah, me too. That's where my family still is.
Yeah.
And moved here right after college to be a teacher. So I was an elementary school teacher and then a middle school teacher. And then I went and got my PhD at Tulane in sociology, really in order to start a prison education program at Tulane. It's where I started working with Stephanie. And then there was a pandemic, and I had a baby, and I finished a dissertation, and I got a job at Loyola. It was a really busy year. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. How about you?
I'm Stephanie Gaskill. I'm the Associate Director at JSRI, and I've been in New Orleans full-time, I guess, since 2017, and I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and then went to grad school, made my way to Louisiana, and was working on some dissertation research here and loved it so much I stayed.
Wonderful. Well, we thank you for choosing us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about the Jesuit Social Research Institute. I know a little bit about it. I'm no expert like you all, but because I've gone to some of your activities and events and I read up periodically. But for those who have never heard of it,
sure,
and wonder what is a Jesuit and what is social research have to do with Jesuit, let's start there.
Great start. So a Jesuit, that is a part of the Catholic Church. So it's a religious order in the Catholic Church. It's been around for 500 years. And one of the things the Jesuits are known for is education. Mm-hmm. And so they have a ton of colleges and universities. Loyola University is a Jesuit university. And what makes that unique is really like our values and how we approach education and how we approach the world. Very justice focused, a lot of care for others and care for the world. Related to the work we do, Jesuits have been working in prisons for 500 years, doing education and working with poor and many other things. And so very social justice focused Catholics.
Right.
That's what you could think of for the Jesuits. To get into the Institute a little bit, JSRI has been around since 2007. So it was started right after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. And both the Jesuits and Loyola looked around and said, what can we do for this region? And decided that one of the things that they could do is to research in very important areas, including race, poverty, and migration. And so JSRI for many years put out a quarterly publication and monthly publication, and then did a lot of advocacy work. And then Father Fred Kammer, who had run the Institute for many years, retired in 2021. And again, they looked around and they said, what are the signs of the times? What should we do now? And there was a big focus on prison and criminal justice reform, criminal legal system reform, because it was such an important issue of our time. And so they decided that it would be important to start a prison education program. And I think that's why I got this job.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think a lot of people think Catholic,
mm-hmm.
and just like people think Black and they think monolithic.
Mm.
And Black folks are not monolithic.
Mm-hmm.
Neither are the Catholics.
And Catholics are not either.
Right.
And that's why there are different established orders and different philosophies and focus within the general framework of.
But if you know, you know. If you're on the inside, you know. You know.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, Stephanie, talk about some of the work that you all have going on now.
With the prison education program?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a Bachelor of Applied Science that we're offering at Rayburn Correctional Center, and the students are taking specializations in business management and psychology. We actually just had a big event for the Untapped Talent Summit, bringing couple legislators and Board of Regents and other leaders to the prison to meet students and learn more about the work that we do there. So, but probably one of the bigger, more exciting things we've been doing lately is we finally got access to Pell Grants, which is very important for.
That's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That is big.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's particularly big given everything that's going on
Absolutely.
with the Department of Education, the uncertainty. You guys, we're going to talk. We were talking about in the earlier segment that the shutdown might be ending soon, but so that means that you all are going to be able to go back to the Department of Education and talk about how your program can move forward for these folks so that they can access education without getting into debt, right? With Pell Grants. to fund their education. How does that work?
Sure. So, well, I can talk a little bit, kind of rewind about at the program level. Like, so up until this point, we've done a lot of fundraising to support our 40 incarcerated students and the 10 to 15 correctional officers that are in the program. And now with transitioning to Pell Grants, all of our students, just like everyone else on college campuses, are doing the FAFSA, so the federal application for student aid. And so Stephanie's going into the prison and supporting our students to do that. Yeah.
Mostly our colleague Kelsey.
Yeah, sure.
Who Kelsey McLaughlin is our advisor and support coordinator for the program. And big shout out to Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. April Bergens has really been helping us with our FAFSAs as well.
Yep. So the students apply. Hopefully they are eligible for majority will be. There are some situations in which students may be owed on a past student loan or in a default. So we're working with them to kind of remediate some of those situations. But hopefully they are eligible, and then we're able to receive Pell Grants on their behalf to pay for their education. And that'll cover things like the cost of professors and other materials. So the cost of attendance, really, for our students, which up until this point we've fundraised for.
So separate from the money, how does someone be eligible for this program? How can you, first of all, can you get them interested that you can do this?
Interest is not the problem.
Okay. All right.
So when we first posted the notices that we were going to be accepting applications for Loyola, we had over 200 students in the prison apply for 20 spots. So there's a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And then students go through the application process just like they do on campus. I think we also require like maybe an extra essay and an interview with us, so it's a little bit more intensive than on campus. They have to have graduated from high school or got a GED. They take a test in the prison called the Test of Adult Basic Education, so we look at that. What else, Stephanie? What would you add?
I think you've got it. Yep.
Okay. But really it's just about as we try to be as equitable as possible to what's happening on campus.
Right.
So to mirror that process.
So when are classes held?
Usually in the late afternoon, early evening. So professors drive up to the prison once a week for a 2.5-hour class, usually from 3:30 to 6, and that's when we're able to hold classes.
Very cool. Very cool.
And you also have not just folks who are incarcerated there, but you also have other participants. You know, some of the staff are participating as well.
Yes, yeah. So we have correctional staff who've been with us since the beginning, and some that are new, who are also working towards their bachelor's degree. We started, the very first class for them was in person, and that was very hard. Correctional officers work 12-hour shifts. And then to stay for 3 extra hours for class was pretty hard. They also have really busy lives, often work 6 days a week. And so they actually asked us to move to the online program. So
Gotcha.
Loyola City College is fantastic for working adults.
That's right.
And so they've been working their way through. And we have our first graduate from the correctional officers or correctional staff in December.
Yes.
So we're about to graduate our first.
All right.
That's exciting.
That's gonna ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
When is that going to happen?
I think we're going up for an event on the 5th. So this
Very
December.
nice.
Yep.
Oh, so y'all are gonna do? Oh my God, that's so great. Because a lot of sometimes the commuter schools. I'm a Loyola alumna, so I'm very familiar with City College. Sometimes it doesn't. They don't get to necessarily participate in the big pomp and circumstance. But you know, Loyola has always been great about making sure you can mark the occasion, and it's great to know that y'all are. Again, you just said that you want to make sure it's as similar as possible to the on-campus experience.
Yeah, we'll be there in our graduation robes,
All
making
right.
it as similar as possible.
Yeah.
And people graduate and thank you, Lordy. Right? That's what it is. That's what you want.
Yeah, and this particular student, isn't his daughter is also graduating?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But when he, we were just there with the Untapped Talent, and he talked a lot about his kids. and about, his kids who are adults and showing them that he could go back to school and that he's graduating and what that means to them.
Wow, that's great. So this is an accredited program. Talk to us a little bit about what it took to make that happen. so without getting too deep into the weeds, I will say with a little bit of transparency, I'm kind of deep into this stuff. So I'm going on an accreditation site visit in January. So I'm like,
exciting.
Okay, so.
Oh,
okay, so, I won't go into all of the different standards and all that kind of thing, but we'll kind of leave
I'll
it
just say be kind to the people.
Yes.
Well, one, I will say our Uriel Casada at Loyola was incredible in that process and helping all of us navigate everything that we needed to do. As you know, it's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of
work.
A lot of,
Let me say volunteer work.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, though, I think that it really helped us to define what we're doing and make sure that we're doing everything as we should. But it was a huge milestone, I think, for us and for the students as well, to know that they can earn the full bachelor's degree and that it's really real. I think that's something that we get all the time. Like, is this really real? And so I think that was a step in that direction.
Wonderful. So what do you see as the future for the program? You're off and running 200 applications for 20 slots. You got 40 plus 15, I believe you said. So clearly there's more interest and desire, but there's limited capacity and resources and people, I'm sure.
Sure. So I think for our program, we'd love to offer more classes at a time so that students get through the degree faster. So right now we have 2 groups of students and they're each taking a class, so 2 classes at a time per semester. We'd love to increase that, space and finances willing. And then I think these programs do require a lot, but we also have a lot of colleges in Louisiana.
Right, that's right.
And so there are a lot of other colleges that could be serving students in the prison. And so that's kind of what the Untapped Talent was all about, was getting other colleges involved, come up, meet our students, see what this looks like, and then let's help you to start a program. Let's help you to serve more
Amazing.
people.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to have to go to break. And before we do, how can people reach out to you, particularly if they have a loved one who might be eligible, but maybe they didn't apply, maybe they didn't understand it was for them? I mean, how can people get in touch with you all?
Sure. So the email is jsri@loyno, which is loyno.edu. Or you can go to our website and look at us. I mean, we're not able to serve everybody, but we love that people are interested. We love that there's, and we really do hope that other colleges, particularly if there are other college professors, administrators out there that are interested in these types of programs. At 12 p.m. today, we have a meeting of a group that's called the Louisiana Prison Research and Education Group that we're starting, which is really to get more people involved in the work. So we would love to invite people to come to events and to come to that group to learn how to start these types of programs.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us right here on WBOK, the Good Morning Show. Thank you for the important work that you do, and I think this is marvelous. A model that other higher education institutions can use to expand the reach and provide more higher education.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys. Thanks. Great, amazing work. LU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. This is WBOK. We've been talking with our representatives from Jesuit Social Research Institute. Make sure that you can get some more info from them if you're interested in helping or you have a loved one who might benefit. We've been talking with Annie Phoenix, the Executive Director, and Associate Director, Stephanie Gasco. I am Will Sutton, and with me co-hosting today is Andronika Morris. The talk line is 504-582-9422. You're hearing our voices. We'd love to hear yours, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. One of the most lasting images of former NBA superstar Shaquille O'Neal's playing days is him tearing down basketball rims while dunking like they were made of paper. But today, Shaq wants to build, and he's got a new partnership to do it with.
There's a tremendous need in the U.S. for better infrastructure. You know, you see it in your roads, you see it in your airports, your train stations, and I want to help make that change. And, you know, Jack Mel is the partner that can help me do that.
That's Shaq speaking to Bloomberg about why he joined forces with Jack Mel Infrastructure. That's an investment firm that focuses on big construction and utility projects across the country. Shaq joined the company as a founding partner and says he's looking forward to winning big in the infrastructure space.
Every time I win a championship, it's because I have great teammates. You know, one with Kobe, I'm winning in the broadcast with Charles Barkley. So I want to also win a championship in the infrastructure space.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes out comfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology. Just step it and go. Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of will, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
It's that time again, New Orleans. First Fridays is back. Join the New Orleans Regional Chamber of Commerce every first Friday of every month, where business, culture, and community come together. Come network, unwind, and connect with local professionals and entrepreneurs making moves across the city. Friday, November 7th, join us at Justini's, 3162 Dauphine Street from 5 to 7. See you there.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK. WBOK New Orleans. Home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Maryland is suing the Trump administration over its decision to keep the FBI headquarters in D.C. Black Attorney General Anthony Brown says Prince George's County fairly won the bid for Greenbelt, and reversing that decision violates federal law and undermines the selection process. Chicago's Black Mayor Brandon Johnson met virtually with the United Nations Human Rights Council Friday morning, accusing the Trump administration of human rights violations tied to immigration raids and food aid cuts. He urged the United Nations to investigate and invited its experts to visit Chicago. And President Trump has granted a pardon to Black baseball legend Darryl Strawberry. The former New York Mets star was convicted of federal tax fraud in 1995, receiving 3 years probation and repaying $350,000 in back taxes. The pardon does not cover his past state drug charges. To this day, Strawberry is celebrated as one of baseball's greats. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
New Schools for New Orleans, along with Allstate Sugar Bowl and Entergy New Orleans, would like to send a huge congratulations to our class of 2025 New Orleans Excellence in Teaching Award honorees. This year, we had 87 Teachers of the Year from each public school in New Orleans. Each of them was recognized at our annual gala, where we had over 350 attendees. We are excited to share that each honoree is also receiving a $1,000 classroom grant. Thank you for everything you do.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 AM. The voice you hear is Will Sutton, and I am here with Andronika Morris. She's here, and it's not a Tuesday.
It's not a Tuesday.
It's not a Tuesday. It's a Monday morning, and she got up early just to be with y'all, our WBOK family of listeners and watchers. We appreciate you tuning in on 1230 a.m., tuning in on the internet from wherever you might be. And, of course, always live on Facebook for those who listen and watch to see what we're doing in the studio. We see y'all. Hello.
Good morning.
All right. So it is 8:02 a.m. The school zone speeds are still in effect until 9. Watch out for our babies, y'all. If you got somewhere to be at 8:10, you got about 8 minutes, and you might be able to get there if it takes you 5 or 6. And you got to take time for parking appropriately and getting in and at your space. But if you work remote, make sure you got your stuff all set up and ready to go. All right. We're going to continue the show. We just had a good conversation with folks from the Jesuit Social Research Institute. Wonderful work that they are doing over there to help incarcerated folks earn some higher education degrees.
That's right. That was amazing. That's
it really is.
Yeah. That this is a program that could be replicated and expanded, right? So, and that's supported by our Department of Education, our U.S. Department of Education.
That's a big development.
Yeah, it's a big piece that it's accredited, right? So that again, it's where we see often so many times the universities are under attack. Here, Loyola's walking the line, not only doing their mission, that mission-driven work of going into prisons, but also expanding access to resources so that people can turn their lives around.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's more good work happening in our area. So we're going to be jumping in the conversation with Madeline Kartz-Batson, who is the Research and Policy Director for the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. Good morning, Madeline.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
This is Will Sutton. You're on with Will Sutton and Andronica Morris. How are you?
Doing fine, Happy to be here with you.
Thank you for getting up and having some time with us. We want to hear from you and hear about the important work that you are doing. But let's start by giving our listeners a little bit of background about you. Where you from? Where you been? Who's your mama and them?
I'm actually both my parents are from Louisiana, though I grew up in North Carolina. But
what part of North Carolina?
Outside of Raleigh, actually.
Where?
In Johnston County, a rural town southeast in Clayton.
I know Clayton. I worked at the News and Observer.
Oh wow! Okay, lovely. Well, okay, so you're good people.
Yeah, right.
Yes, found my heart and soul is down in Louisiana. So happy to be
good.
back to, I guess, my homeland in a way. But also pleased to work with the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. We are a nonprofit independent source of research and data on early childhood education, which serves children birth to 5. And we hope that our research helps elevate the conversation on just how important access to early learning programs are to better support policies that better reflect the needs of, families and our children, and then certainly our early childhood education providers too.
So we see that there's a poll indicating that 65% of Louisiana voters do see child care as an economic issue. Why is that important, and has there been a significant shift with that perception?
Yes, certainly. For a very long time, child care or early childhood education was seen as something that was really a private family responsibility. But through this polling research we did with the First 5 Years Fund recently of Louisiana voters, we found that Louisiana voters very much see access to early childhood education programs as a critical piece of our economic puzzle. And there's two sides to that. A majority, actually 83% of voters say that access to affordable care is essential for our economy. And even further than that, a majority of 70% believe that it's a critical piece of our strategy for furthering our economy. So not only is it just an important part of our state, but it actually will help us strategize to be better in the future, which is really exciting to see that come out of this poll. And actually that crosses regional lines, parent, non-parent lines, and even political lines as well. There's a resounding consensus there.
So you mentioned across political lines, so people are not seeing this as a party issue?
No, actually across the poll for all different types of questions, we really almost always saw it as a bipartisan or non-political issue where Republicans, Democrats, Independents saw these factors on childcare and the state investing in childcare as an important
That's right.
thing for our legislature to do.
So we're always talking about money, our moral budgets and everything like that. Why can't we get these folks to connect the dots sometimes, right? The data is clear. This has only gotten more extreme in the last few years, and we've made nods at it. What specific, and I think part of the problem is that it can seem overwhelming, and what you guys have done here is really drill down on where investment, where strategy could have the best use. So what are your top priorities for them? For legislators?
For the legislature?
Go ahead.
Yeah, for the legislature, definitely I think this poll really pushes forward all of our other research that really says investing in early childhood education is going to yield the biggest return on investment over a child's lifetime. And Nobel laureate economist James Heckman has also clarified that actually yields a 13% return on investment. And the only other time in a child's life that yields a higher investment is actually when they're in utero, it's still in the womb. And so when you can invest early between the years of birth to 5, when a child's brain is developing at the quickest rate of their lifetime, you're really going to be able to yield returns, not only getting them ready for kindergarten or even reaching 3rd grade literacy, but you're actually going to support them graduating high school, have higher incomes in adulthood, have better even health outcomes over time. James Heckman also did a lot of that research. And so I think the key is it's not only the research that backs up why it's important to invest early, but Louisiana voters also want to see investment early. And right. I think hopefully this poll will help push that forward at the legislature during our session next year.
The upcoming session, we got a $500 million surplus, right? Got to spend that extra penny somewhere. This has been a conversation that folks have been leading on. You all have been leading on for quite some time. Also, we want to talk about the economic connection that often gets missed. And I think it's seen as just, we want to take care of the kids. The children are the future. But what you also have drilled down on is that this impact is for children, and we should care about that. Mm-hmm. But it's also fundamental to a healthy society, a healthy economy that actually is sustainable, not extractive. How so?
Yes, that's exactly right. I say exciting, maybe because I'm deeply into this work, but what's really interesting is that, to your point, early childhood education access not only prepares our children for lifelong success, but it also allows their parents who are typically just starting their careers or are in school, just about to finish school and start their careers, really give them a launch into creating that family stability that's really important for our families and for our economies. We saw in the poll that voters say that Louisiana is in a state of crisis or has a major problem regarding child care access. And from our other research, we know that when parents don't have consistent access to affordable, high-quality child care, they are having to show up to work late unexpected, take days off unexpectedly. They're foregoing any sort of promotion to ensure that they can keep that affordable access. And so we see parents have real financial strain, and that impacts our workforce productivity, our labor productivity. And so it really is it's an everyone issue. Everyone in the state is touched by the fact that not enough children and not enough families and working parents have access to affordable child care.
And you talked about a little bit, we've seen significant numbers of voters agree with you. What percentage of voters agree that there's a crisis and a problem?
Yeah, 81% of voters in the poll said that Louisiana is in a crisis or has a major problem regarding child care access.
Wow. So that should be a wake-up call, right? Because 81% is a big number. It's something that we can all agree on. And they also agree that this should be done at the state level, right?
Yes, yes. It's not, investing in childcare is not just a local issue. It's not a federal issue. It really is also a state level issue where investing in childcare, like our child care assistance program from the state legislature, which they have done. They made historic investments the last year. So
All right.
don't want to diminish it at all. But continuing to do that and seeing where we can invest more will be really important, according to our voters and the Policy Institute as well. Just to put it into perspective for you, we have like 7,000 children on our child care assistance program wait list. The child care assistance program allows affordable access, and so that shows the demand certainly in our state for more investment.
Right. So so basically we're on the right path, or at least they've gotten the clue about it. And there's more to be done, but we've got a good path. We've got a good, a way to follow it all the way through.
Absolutely.
All right, that's fantastic.
So what's your thinking with this data, this research, as we head into a legislative session? What are some of the top things that we should be watching and that we want our legislators to pay attention to?
Certainly the fact that 65% of voters in this poll said that increasing state support for working families was a good use of our state dollars. And even further, 75%, or right at 75%, said supporting working families with young children is a good investment in our state. And that's not only, just early childhood education in general, but also Head Start, federal program. Also saw bipartisan support in this poll as well. So really, on all sides, investing in childcare is what our state voters want. It's good for our children. It's good for our families. It's good for our economy. And so when we really can invest and expand access, we're doing good for all. It is a win-win-win situation. And with competing interests, certainly that our legislature has to face, this is one that is a resounding yes from research from the voters too. So we hope to see an increased investment.
And it ripples into those other issues is the other piece that's really got to be highlighted when we talk about setting priorities for the upcoming legislative session. What else can connect? There are some other issues, but this cuts across the board.
Absolutely. Access to high quality childcare for children not only gets them ready for kindergarten and then third grade and high school graduation, they're less likely to need remedial services, which is a cost saving to the state. They're also more likely to have better health outcomes, which again is a cost saving measure for the state. They're also less likely to engage in crime and be incarcerated. So again, that's another cost saving to the state. And they have fulfilling full-time jobs in adulthood. That's all the research that James Heckman found, is that again, across the continuum of the child and the parents too, there's also research that says the parents had more economic mobility because their child was able to go to a high quality environment while they sought out work. Mm-hmm. It really cuts across the board, like you said, absolutely. And the research is there to affirm that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. That's important work. What can our listeners do? Are there any action steps that they can take, whether it's going to your website and looking for the data, the report, becoming familiar with that, because the legislative session isn't starting right now, but there are things that can be put in place. What do you suggest?
Yes, our listeners can find this report and many other research on our website, www.policyinstitutela.org. February is also Early Education Month, or Early Ed Month. And so throughout the month of February, there will be different activities for local leaders and statewide elected leaders to participate in. And then for listeners who might not fall into those buckets, there will be parent advocacy trainings and other things like that. So I encourage everyone to keep in touch with our website, get on our emailing list that you can do by visiting our website, so you can keep up with what's going on in the legislature when that session does start.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time with us. This is important work. There would be no us without us coming along and being babies first And
Yes.
we all should agree that it's important to take care of our little ones and to help them grow and be healthy and be educated. So thank you, Ms. Batson, for your time. Thank you for all of the good work that you all do at the Louisiana Policy Institute. And appreciate your being with us here at WBOK. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right. Well, when we come back, folks, we're going to talk about it ain't an elephant in the room. It's been all over the news. Our guest co-host today, Andronika Morris, and her operation has been in the news with City Council. We've got a little spat going on, and we've had some City Council action. We had some housing action, and we got something on the ballot, and it all seems to be tied together. So we're going to talk about that and more right after the break. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. This morning, one man is recovering after being shot overnight. Police say that this happened on South Broad and Gravier Street. The victim arrived at a local hospital a little after 11 o'clock last night. No further information is available at this time. The New Orleans police is also investigating a shooting in Gentilly. It happened around 4:45 Sunday morning near the corner of Selma and Toro Streets. Police say a 14-year-old boy and man were wounded. They were taken to the hospital, currently listed in stable condition. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history could be coming to an end soon. This after the Senate voted to advance a stopgap funding bill last night, 60-40. The chamber is set to work on amendments on it on today. The agreement is a compromise between centrist Democrats and Republicans. It does not extend expiring Obamacare subsidies, so many Democrats also opposed it. Republicans agreed to a vote on the subsidies by early next month. The bill funds much of the government through January of next year. Turning now to sports, and a victory Monday for the Who Dat Nation. The Saints defeating the Carolina Panthers 17-7. The victory was even more sweet for rookie quarterback Tyler Shough, who led the Saints to victory with a historic performance. Shough becomes the first Saints rookie QB to win a game since Dave Wilson back in 1981. He also set a Saints rookie passing record, throwing 282 yards. The Saints return to action in the Superdome next Sunday, November 23rd, to face the arch rival Atlanta Falcons. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m. It is 8:20 a.m. If you need to be somewhere at 8:30, you got about 10 minutes to get there. The baby should be protected with low speeds until 9 a.m., so please be careful out there. If you have not looked outside or opened the door yet, it's pretty brisk and chilly morning. Some people would say cold. I know there's some folks already out. They've looked in their drawers for their sweaters and their closets, and some might have pulled out their boots and their gloves. It's not quite that cold yet, but it is more than chilly for a number of folks. So make sure you are warm and bundled up. You can always take some clothes off if you have enough clothes on. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. If you're just joining us, it's 8:21 a.m. We just had a good conversation with Louisiana Policy Institute talking about taking care of our kids and how more of us in Louisiana are seeing how important it is to take care of those kids. So now the work will begin again to see what the legislature can do about that. So pretty good conversation, I think.
Yeah, great conversation. Really good information and putting things, not just talking about what people want, but talking about ideas, real executable notions and policies that can actually have an impact that gets us out of this seeming spiral that we're in.
Yep, absolutely. So now let's talk about the Greater New Orleans Housing Alliance.
Yes.
The Proposition 1 that's on the ballot. Talk about the Housing Trust Fund.
Right.
These are a number of things that have come together in recent days.
That's right.
Because you and a number of your colleagues, not all of them, are opposing Proposition 1.
Right, that's right.
So let's kind of start with that.
Yes.
And why oppose Proposition 1 when some city officials say it would be helpful for the Housing Trust Fund?
Right. So last year, the GNOHA led the charge to get the Housing Trust Fund put on the ballot and led the charge to get it approved in its current state, where 2% of it's funded in perpetuity, with 2% of the general operating funds, was equal to 2% of general operating dollars. And those, just so everybody knows, those are not grant dollars. Like, we get a lot of federal money. Our budget is over $1 billion, $1.6, $1.8 billion, fluctuates over the last few years. So a good chunk of that is federal funds and grants that are designated for certain things. We're talking about what comes in the form of taxes that are directly going to our operations. So taking 2% of that money and directing it into housing, because we don't normally do that. We don't put in our own money. And the grants that
we rely on others.
We rely on others, and the grants that come in, the money moves slow. The money moves not as quickly as we need it to. It has constrictions, and it doesn't move fast. And the voters wanted to see something different, especially seeing as in the last few years with the insurance crisis and COVID, it's another perfect storm. It's another Katrina-like displacement event that's been moving really slowly, but it's really hitting us hard. And so voters wanted to see us invest in ourselves. So that got on board. The advisory committee that was also assembled would make sure that there was proper oversight. And the dollars that we're talking about, we've spent the last almost year working on this, because the dollars wouldn't be available until 2026. And that's important to understand, because we're talking about dollars that have nothing to do with this current, I was going to say cluster
mess.
something, the mess that we have, because 2026 dollars cannot be used to balance the 2025 budget nightmare.
Right.
So that's an important piece. And earlier, a couple of months ago, the administration and the council signed off on this scheme. Instead of using that 2% of general operating, going back to the bad old ways of doing things, of using bond financing to substitute for these dollars, so that they could go back to doing what they were doing before. It's not taking our money and investing in us, borrowing money to do this. So we told them pretty definitively this was not a great idea, especially given what's happening with the bond market, right? We've been downgraded. There's no way we're going to get as much money as they're promising. And we've seen that. The last bond initiative, they still haven't spent all of the money. They got $17 million, money that was appropriated and approved in 2019. And they're still just now putting some of that money out on the street. We haven't seen a unit, one home, spent with that money. And so it is, this is not what the people need. Now, do we need long-term investment? Yes. So we want there to be homes coming online in 2027 and 2028 and 2029. And that old bond money that's getting out the door, last week they approved some of it getting out the door. It's going to take 4, 5, 6, 7 years for those homes to be available. What are we doing right now? And Prop 1 stops us from doing something right now for the people of New Orleans.
So if Proposition 1 were to pass, wouldn't the Housing Trust Fund still exist?
It would. It would still exist. It would just be empty. The scheme right now, the plan right now is that the bonds, the rosy projections that they have is that In June, the bonds will be sold, June of 2026, instead of money that's available in January 2026.
Because of the Housing Trust
Because
Fund
of the way
approval of the voters.
Because of the way it's set up now, they would say, well, we're going to wait until June to float the bonds and then figure out what we're going to get. So it's September, and then all of a sudden we're in another budget cycle, and we've not spent a nickel. We've not spent a nickel. We've not invested a nickel of money into helping people. And by the way, the priorities that the advisory committee has come up with are things that can get done in 30, 60, 90 days. So it's not the same thing like on a 5-year, 6-year project, waiting 9 months isn't that big of a deal. But on something that could happen in 30, 60, 90 days, waiting 9 months means you're not helping people stay in their homes. It means that you're not bringing down utility costs. It means that you're not bringing down insurance. It means that people are going to get foreclosed on. It means that people are going to get evicted when you could have just taken the money we have, the money the voters, by the way, authorized to be used in this way, instead of trying to trick them into doing this scheme. Let's kick the can down the road. Let's figure out how we borrow the money from somewhere else. We know that this doesn't work. It doesn't work for immediate needs. It's fine for long-term, big-scale housing developments. It's not fine for the things that the people of New Orleans need right now.
Who's this advisory committee?
So the advisory committee in the ordinance, so there's two parts here. So the voters authorized the charter amendment, and then the council put together an ordinance so we can make some changes. Our elected officials can make some changes. So the advisory committee, there are 3 community spots. The Greater New Orleans Housing Alliance, Southeast Legal Services of Louisiana, and Louisiana Fair Housing Action Center represent the community with appointing authority, or we did. And the other 3 there are 3 spots controlled by the council president, chair of the Community Development Committee, and chair of Quality of Life Committee. And the 7th spot is appointed by the mayor. Last week, what happened was the council seized control of the advisory committee, removing the community spot, Ganoha's community spot, and taking it for the council president. So the council president now has 2 appointing spots on the advisory committee.
So I want to be clear about something. If what the voters approved was not just the 2%, but a structure, how can city council change the structure?
What they approved was that there would be an advisory committee, not the makeup of the advisory committee. You don't want to put something like that in the charter because it's hard to change, right? So the fact that there would be an advisory committee is something that the voters signed off on. Who is on the advisory committee? We trusted our leaders. We had to empower them to make those kinds of changes. Forget about whatever political retribution or anything like that. Organizations go away, right? So the concept should be that community has representation on it, and that the council also has representation on it, and that there is a balance, and that the administration is still, also has some representation on it as well. That should have been put in, and it wasn't. Trusting our leaders not to do something like this, where they would seek to seize power and consolidate power on the council side, and to do so for such obvious reasons.
So representing Greater New Orleans Housing Alliance has been you?
Yes, just for a year. Yes. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. So we just got appointed earlier this year.
Right.
My term doesn't end until next year. It's a year. So we won't have appointing authority next year.
So you're still on it now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So your removal is effective next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that slot moves over to a city council president.
Yes. The president will have 2 slots to pick.
So the city council has a new city council coming in January 12th.
Right.
So we're not certain who will be city council president, but usually it's the incumbent at-large member versus the new one.
Right.
So more likely than not, that would be J.P. Morrell.
Right.
Again to start, and then switch over to Mr. Willard, State Representative Willard, who will be city council member at-large Willard at some point.
Right. That's right.
So when they change roles, would that city council president Willard
have appointing authority? Yes.
Okay.
That would be in 2027. If the things stay if things stay as expected, right?
Okay. All right. Well, there's more to explore with that, but that's a good overview. We're going to have to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more about the news you want to know, need to know, and should know. And we hope to be getting an update as well on election. We'll talk about it anyway, right here at WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Today is a WDSU first warning weather impact day due to the cold weather. While highs reach the mid-50s and only feel like the 30s and the 40s due to strong winds. Speaking of the strong winds, gusts up to 25 miles per hour. A red flag warning is also in place because of the winds and low humidity. Burning is not recommended. And our first freeze is possible tonight with lows dropping to the mid-20s. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Ever notice that everyone always wants more of a good thing? More rewards, more savings, more special offers? Well, when you become a new member of the Fuel Rewards program at Shell, that's exactly what you get, more. Join today to save 10 cents per gallon on your first fill, 20 cents on the second, and 30 cents on the third. Then enjoy everyday savings afterwards. Want more? Then head to Shell where members get more.
Offer valid from 4/21/25 through 10/31/25 at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com/join25 for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Benefit Solution Group annual enrollment period update. Who do I have on the line with me today?
Hey, this is Lori Swanigan, CEO of the Benefit Solutions Group.
And I'm Vanessa Scott, broker senior advisor with the Benefit Solutions Group.
Can you guys tell me what is annual enrollment period?
The annual enrollment period, the acronym for it is AEP. It starts October the 15th and it goes through December the 7th.
Why is open enrollment so important?
It is a time for anyone with Medicare. Any person with a red, white, and blue card can actually get a plan. There are forms that you need to fill out to even get your prescription drugs. So can we go ahead and throw that number out there?
Yes, let's do it.
Again, that number is 504-621-3687. Awesome. And that's going to be Vanessa Scott coming to your doorstep.
It's Benefit Solution Group. Don't let the laws change and leave you stuck out. Get your Medicare review today at 504-621-3687. Benefit Solution Group is a licensed independent agency not affiliated with the U.S. government. We offer Medicare, Advantage Part D, and Medicare plans for major carriers in our market area.
Wake up your taste buds at Inner City Brews and Bistro, home of the one-of-a-kind peach cobbler pancakes. Start your day with our soulful breakfast favorites. Then come back for bold cocktails and those oh-so-good Creole flavors that always hit just right. In the heart of Tremay, every bite feels like home. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. and find us at 1401 St. Bernard Avenue. Inner City Brews and Bistros, uniquely New Orleans, deliciously unforgettable.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
In the lower nine, we waited long enough for empty promises. Cindy Wind delivers. She's fought blight, brought housing, and helped small businesses rise again. Now her plan means safer streets, cleaner blocks, and real jobs right here at home. Cindy Wynn building a better east, starting with us in the lower Ninth Ward, paid for by the committee to elect Cindy Wynn.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is 8:37 a.m. We got a few more minutes for the speed zones for the school areas. Don't go over the 20 miles per hour school zone. They will get you. So easy to go 22, 23, 24 miles per hour, and it's too fast because we want to protect our babies. The voice you hear is Will Sutton. Co-hosting with me today is Andrenica Morris. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody.
And
One more time.
Thanks for filling us in on the drama that you and others have been experienced in recent days.
Yeah.
So there's more to it, and we'll be talking about that because it's an ongoing set of issues, and it does have a tie into Election Day. Since
Right.
we have Propositions 1, 2, and 3, and we have a couple of charter amendments. And then, of course, we have a citywide runoff, and we have 2 city council runoffs for District A and District E. So, yes, folks, there are reasons to vote. And we just wrapped up the November 1 through 8 early voting period tied to the election on November 15th. And with us today is our registrar, Lisa Marie Manning Bridges, live and in person.
Oh, whole
Thank
name,
you.
the whole name.
Good morning.
All
Good morning.
right.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for getting up and spending some time with us. And of course, we always want people to be registered. We always want people to exercise their vote. We know historically, traditionally, there's a fall off from the one election to a runoff election or to an election. In this case, that's not a runoff, but it is your opportunity to vote on propositions and charter amendments.
Correct.
So it's not a runoff. I mean, there's no candidate with those things. So very important things that have an impact on how we live and our quality of life and who we want to be philosophically, because we put the money behind it and we put the policy behind it.
Correct.
So how do we do in early voting?
All right.
How we do?
Early voting numbers were a little low. So
Little low.
I'm hoping everyone is saving up that energy for Saturday coming.
Okay.
For the 15th to come out and vote. It was a real difference from the primary early voting.
How different
So,
was it?
Our early voting numbers, we had 16,000 total, 16,772 that early voted.
Compared to?
Well, what's that percentage? Yeah.
Compared to, did he give me that? I have those.
Well, just by comparison.
Oh, no. I take that back. Our early voting was 4,149 that voted this
That's
time.
right. Okay.
Compared to last month, which was 16,772. So that was the difference.
That's a big drop.
That is a big drop.
Right.
Yes.
And those are people who voted.
Correct.
And
Right.
So more likely than not, they didn't come back to vote, at least not early. But maybe they'll vote.
Maybe they'll vote Saturday.
Maybe they'll vote Saturday.
Right.
Yes.
That's a lot of
So just to be clear, so a little over 4,000 folks voted
Last
Saturday,
week.
Saturday.
Saturday to Saturday.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's.
And 16,000 Saturday to Saturday of last month.
Can we break down some of the numbers? I think a lot of us get a little in the weeds with some of this stuff. So overall, how many people are registered to vote in Orleans Parish?
A little more than 262,000.
Okay, so 262,000 folks are on the rolls,
registered,
can
actually come out
actually can come out and vote. And about 40% of those folks voted in the primary.
Correct.
And early voting was about 16,000 in the primary early voting.
Right.
This past week, Saturday to Saturday.
4,149.
Okay. So that's not great. Those are not great numbers, right? We got to get folks to understand that that decisions are being made.
Correct.
And they have to be a part of them. They have to be not just educated and engaged and have an opinion, but they got to show up.
Right. That's the only way we know what you want is you show up, you vote for your candidate.
So give us some examples of specific early voting locations. So just so we can have an idea, because whether I go vote early or an election day, I kind of have a sense of the rhythm of what difference it's going to make if I show up in the first 2 hours or late morning or afternoon or the last 2 hours before a poll close. If you're a regular voter, you kind of have a sense of what that might look like. You're not standing in line, you are standing in line. And so when I voted early last month, I was in a line all the way down from the inside, outside, down the steps, out. I mean, it was a long line.
Okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like that happened.
No, I don't think that happened at all. The leading site is always Chef, the New Orleans East location.
Okay.
And they had 1,578 voters.
Wow.
So
For
compared
Chef?
to last month where they had 6,763 voters.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
And that's our leading site. Then following behind Chef is Spanish Fort, the Lake Vista area, which had 1,347 voters. And last month, they saw 5,014 voters. So, yeah. Then, of course, behind there is City Hall location, where we had 633 voters. And last month, we had 2,957. And then following that is Algiers, that had 591. And last month, they had 2,038. So.
Okay.
My goodness. So I know there was free parking for an hour around City Hall, but those other places, I don't think you have trouble parking.
Well, that's probably why they do. They are the higher performing places, but I think part of the issue is, there's a lot of conversation about good government and good practices, and why we want people to early vote. We want people to signal that they're engaged, that they know what's going on. It gives you a bunch of options, right?
Correct.
But yeah, and one of the things that happens too is we have a decent enough system with our elections being on Saturdays.
Yes.
Right. But some people work on Saturdays. Some people can't quite make it. You're not sure what the weather is going to be like. And so early voting isn't just a convenience. For some people, it's the way that they need to vote.
Correct. Right. Yes.
And it's why it's so important to see how many people are taking advantage of it, and to drill down to, now your job is not to figure out why and to motivate them, but to help them figure it out. We were also talking about voting by mail, right? And the way that system is set up, and how hard your team has to work to make sure people get their ballots. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So we sent out approximately 13,000 ballots
For
every election. Because
and that's
we had,
proactively, right? Those are folks who have indicated in the past.
Please
they
send
have
this to
either indicated in the past, or they know I won't be here on the 15th, or I won't be here during early voting all that whole entire time.
Right.
And they'll say, well, send it to me at this address. It may be California, Chicago, wherever they are. Even if you're hospitalized and you can't come out, we'll send it to you.
Right.
So incarcerated, if they're incarcerated and they're not a convicted felon, they can request a mail-in ballot, and we'll send it. So those are all included in that number. And so far we've sent out, like I said, 13,000, and we've received back 3,603.
That's not bad.
So
that's not. I mean,
that's pretty good for mail ballot.
That's really good. So you've got folks who are trusting it, and you guys are doing what you're supposed to do, which is getting them out there.
Right. Nursing homes, if someone is in a nursing home and they want a mail ballot, they have the option to get in a mail ballot, or we could come out and vote them in a nursing home. Some people want the actual mail ballot.
Right, that's right, that's right.
All right, we got a caller, so Reverend Rick Kastner, Will Sutton, and Andronika Morris. We're talking with our registrar, Lisa Bridges.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Enjoying the show. You guys are most knowledgeable.
Well, great.
Excuse me. This is Reverend Rick Kastner, and I'm calling because I'm kind of confused. I was listening to Sister Andronika speak about one of the propositions or whatever you want to call it. And it seems that when we voted for one thing, it seems like a bait and switch. Because we voted for, in the last election, what we needed for housing. And now it seems to be turned all around. Money not spent, the dynamics changed, and now we need to vote again on it. So as I look at these propositions, I'm tended as a voter to vote no, because it seems every time we vote, they change the landscape on it, and we don't get what we voted for. Can you set some clarity? Because let me say this before I hang up. The reason why people not coming out to vote is because when we vote on one thing, we get something else. The trickery and deceit is turning people off. Now, I'm an advocate voter. I vote for everything. That's the way I learn. But the bottom line is the people we trust that we vote for to do the right thing seems to be sitting in high places and doing everything they can not to do what the people in the community need. I'm going to say this and I'm going to hang up. Housing. Do we realize how this affects this whole community? We shut down bridges and overpass because the homeless have nowhere to go. And until we address the housing issue in a proper manner, these things will continue not only to affect the poor and the disenfranchised, but those who are trying to get to work every day, those who are trying to make an honest living and being taxed out of this community. And you keep saying vote, vote, vote. I'm going to hang up and listen. And Sister Andronika, maybe you could share on that and hopefully change my mind about voting no. Have a great day.
All right, Reverend Rick Kastner. Well, I'm not going to try to change your mind on voting no on Proposition 1. I'm not going to do that because we agree with you on that. And this is part of the process, unfortunately, is that there is often a backlash, right? When we push our leaders and we're clear with them, sometimes they try to, come back and say, are you sure? And that's why it's important to turn out to vote. And that's why it's important to be educated about what you're voting for so that you're not sending a conflicting message. We didn't get here with the trust fund by accident, right? We lost the trust. We lost another trust fund a few years before by less than 1,000 votes. And through education and engagement, we got a different outcome because what was put on the ballot was what the people wanted to see. They could trust in it. And so, unfortunately, there was a little backsliding. There's an opportunity, though, to make sure that we don't backslide. We just got to tell them, no, do what we told you. So sending a clear message of voting no on Proposition 1 and making it clear that that's how that's different from the other parts on the other issues, but being clear saying no on one. No on one. So thank you, Reverend Kastner. You summed it up quite nicely. And it does lead to some of the apathy, but it's why it's important for people to go out and vote and own their decisions and hold their elected officials accountable. You put them in office. They work for you. That was your hiring interview. Now you got to make sure that they do, and when they give you the opportunity to give them some more direction, you got to take it.
All right. Well, thank you for your call, and thank you for coming in. All you can do is tell us the facts of what we got with turnout. So it's not like you making it up. These are the people who showed up in early voting. We wish it were better than that. But hopefully we can use this information as a motivation for folks. You can still request a mail ballot.
Yes, you can still request a mail ballot
12th.
until November 12th. Correct.
And you have to return it by 4:30 p.m. on the 14th.
Correct.
All right.
And it's really helpful if you request a mail ballot to update your phone number and email address, because if there's a problem with your ballot, we can get in touch with you and let you know, because right now, if we mail you a cure letter telling you something's wrong with it, you may not get it before Election Day. So if we have a number
So be careful
and
with-
an email,
with-
yes,
Okay.
we can call you. But yes, please fill it out correctly.
All right, very good.
That's great.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in and giving us the news and the information, such as it is. But please, folks, election is still going on. Election day is November 15th. You have an opportunity for mail ballots request by the 12th. So you can request it today.
Yes,
Get
you
it
can
in
request
mail.
it today.
You can even return it before
Yes,
the
you
deadline.
can return it before the deadline. We
That's
love
right.
when you
Okay.
return it before the deadline.
All right. All right.
That's right.
Very
That's
good.
right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Keep in mind, this election is very important. We've got 2 city council races to be determined, a citywide clerk race to be determined, 3 propositions, 1, 2, and 3, and 2 charter amendments. So take a look at those. We're going to be talking about this every day this week because we need more people to come out and vote. It's a part of your responsibility and your obligation. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. One of the most lasting images of former NBA superstar Shaquille O'Neal's playing days is him tearing down basketball rims while dunking like they were made of paper. But today, Shaq wants to build, and he's got a new partnership to do it with.
There's a tremendous need in the U.S. for better infrastructure. You know, you see it in your roads, you see it in your airports, your train stations, and I want to help make that change. And, you know, Jack Mel is the partner that can help me do that.
That's Shaq speaking to Bloomberg about why he joined forces with Jack Mel Infrastructure. That's an investment firm that focuses on big construction and utility projects across the country. Shaq joined the company as a founding partner and says he's looking forward to winning big in the infrastructure space.
Every time I win a championship, it's because I have great teammates. You know, one with Kobe, I'm winning in the broadcast with Charles Barkley. So I want to also win a championship in the infrastructure space.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes out comfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology. Just step in and go. Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jennifer Avegno, Health Director for the City of New Orleans. It's flu season, so now's the time to roll up your sleeves and get your flu shot. Flu cases are on the rise and affect every age. From handshakes to friendly hugs to touching infected surfaces, the flu can be transmitted to anyone, anywhere. Don't let the flu sideline you from all the fun things you love about our city. Getting your flu shot is one of the easiest things you can do to protect yourself. Be flu ready, NOLA, and get your flu shot today. Visit healthyheartcpp.org to learn more.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Hey everybody, it's Kimber White Dupree.
And it's Graylin Brian Banks from the front porch. We're coming up next.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Whatever is left of it, only just a little bit, because upcoming next is the Front Porch with Kimber and Graylin. I'm Janika Morris. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure to see you and to talk with you. Always learn something.
Thank
and I appreciate that. We've had a good show this morning with folks from the Jesuit Social Research Institute and folks from the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. We also have gotten an update on early voting, and it doesn't look good. So, folks, we got to get out there and vote on Saturday. And if you're eligible, get that early mail ballot. All right, coming up next, right here on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. is the Front Porch. 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.